Hey Threadheads, welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing one of the simplest flies, but I feel it's an important fly to have. I've been fishing this quite a bit over the summer here, and I've caught a ton of bluegills, pumpkin seeds, and bass, and a few other species. I even caught a walleye on one of these puppies. So this is the mop fly, also known as a dust mop fly or a whoosit. So let's get on with it. Let's get a fresh hook in the vise. So for the hook today, I'm going to be using a Firehole 5/16, and we're going to be using a size 10. I normally tie this either on a size 10 or size 12. We're going to give this one a gold bead. And for the size 10, I've got a 4.5 or a 8 millimeter bead. And for thread, we're just going to go with some black, or you can match the body color. We're going to be using an olive whoosit. And we'll just tie on our thread in behind the bead. And we're just going to put down a nice bulky layer of thread here. I don't want to go into the bend. I just want to keep it on the hook shank itself. You just want to make sure that you got enough thread here that we're going to be adding some super glue, so we want to make sure that we're going to be able to soak that and that it's going to stick to the hook shank. So the thread's sort of a medium in between for the glue to be soaked up and to help stick everything together. So we're going to get our whoosit ready. So there's two ends. There's like a round end. We don't want to touch that. And there's the end where it's been cut off the carpet or wash mitt or whatever, wherever you got that from. So I like to just take a few fibers off just to expose that core here, and that's where we're going to tie in. Okay, so we've got that ready. We're going to take some super glue, and we're going to put a decent amount of super glue on there. You want to make sure it gets around all that thread. So we're going to push the whoosit right in as close to the bead as we can. And then what I like to do is turn that over and push that up and kind of wrap it around so that it gets enveloped onto the hook. Give it a little press for a couple seconds to let that glue set. And you've got some pretty good adhesion there. That's not too bad. So next thing we're going to add to the fly, I'm going to add a little bit of dubbing. I'm going to use a black peacock ice dub for this one. Gives a nice contrast. This is sort of a bit of a caddis type pattern. So I want to take a decent amount and I want to add that to my thread here. So we'll just dub on a fairly fat noodle. Now, one thing I don't mind is this dubbing getting pulled out as you fish the fly. Kind of like envelops over the body and it gives a nice buggy look to the fly. If you want, you can go ahead beforehand and brush it out, but it's not necessary. All right, zoom back in. So we're going to add a little bit of hard head on here. And give it a nice generous dollop of head cement in there before we wrap our dubbing. That's also going to help with the durability of this fly. So just want to kind of get it in behind the bead as much as we can. And that's it for the mop fly. Just going to add a double whip finish, and should be a good fly for the spring. And as I said before, if you want to, you can take a dubbing brush or something and just kind of pull everything back here. That's going to give you a nice finish on the fly. So there you go. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. And until next time, keep a hook in your vise.